the Rock Metal Podcast, episode 100 with Tyfon's Doom. Boom. All right, Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Sea of Life by Tyfon's Doom, who I've got on the show with me right now. Tommy runs Tyfon's Doom as a solo heavy metal project from Finland. We're going to be listening to that song as well as one other while finding more information about the project. Tommy, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Let's go listen back to that track, Sea of Life. Coming back from Sea of Life, definitely a killer track to open up the show with. I'm curious, what's the story or inspiration behind Sea of Life?
Well, Sea of Life is actually, it's most about discovering new technologies and making it possible to transfer even people from one space to another. So it's like the multiverse thing It's actually pretty hard to explain a lyrics or story about a single song because the whole album is a concept album, and the whole album basically tells a purely fictional story about the relation between power and mankind in an apocalyptic world where I'm just playing around with different themes.
Okay, very cool. Now I'm curious then, what brought about the name of the track, Sea of Life?
The name of the track is it's a concept I created. It means the thing that is in the story, the planet isn't really a habitable place anymore. So Sea of Life is a place where living is possible. Another space.
Okay.
Something like that.
Very cool stuff, where water brings life, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Now you mentioned the whole album is a concept album. I'm just kind of curious, was there anything unique about the writing process when it came to Sea of Life?
No, it was pretty basic. Actually, it's mostly an old song. And if I remember correctly, the most parts were composed somewhere around 2013. But the chorus and solos are brand new. I just used some old riffs to make a new song.
Very, very cool. Now you mentioned it being a whole concept album. I'm curious, did it begin that way or did it sort of unfold after you started writing a few songs?
No, kind of both. Because I've always wanted to do a concept album. That was one thing I just wanted to do. So I thought that maybe I do it when I do the first album.
All right. Let's go listen to the next track, Moonlight. right, coming back from Moonlight, similar question for you. What's the story or inspiration behind Moonlight?
Moonlight is not about moon or moonlight or not even about moonshine. I would like to say that it's about chaos mostly. It tells about a situation where all that's left in this planet is just pure anarchy and chaos, and all the hope that there could possibly be is lost, and that kind of stuff. But in this case, if there is no place to go, so one possibility could be moon. It's a harsh example, but it doesn't tell about it. It maybe asks a question: do you run if there's a hopeless situation, or do you fight?
I'm just kind of curious, and what brought about the name of the track then, Moonlight?
One thing is that when I made the track, I made the lyrics already, and I had a concept album, so I had to kind of afterwards tell a story where it fits.
All right. What was unique about the writing process?
I wouldn't say there's nothing unique about it, but it's good thing that it's purely a new stuff, nothing old. Many songs on the new album has something old, but I would say that this one is my personal favorite from the new album.
All right.
And even though it's already probably a year and a half since I wrote the track, I remember very well when I wrote the riff in the chorus. Yeah, it was actually pretty difficult to play while standing, as you had to stretch your fingers pretty much. So had to sit down and play to get some support for the left hand. Also, it's one of the fastest songs on the album, and there's pretty fast solo. Nothing special, but kind of hard.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you mentioned there really wasn't a whole lot unique to the writing process when it came to the tracks. Although for Rock Metal Nation out there, I was curious, maybe dive into your writing process. How do you write songs? Do you have a lot of lyrics and then maybe come up with the music? Or is it music and then lyrics? Or how does the whole process work for you just in general?
It's always first the guitars, and I use programmed drums. I make some simple drum beat, and after that I play riffs and rhythm guitars, and like that I make the structure of the song. And afterwards I play lead guitars and then maybe bass. But usually I play bass and do vocals just for the actual recordings. I skip those things.
Well, we all know that vocals are just space in between guitar solos anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So for Rock Metal Nation, you dug the tracks there. Part of the exciting news that has already happened is the new album has definitely come out. So if you dug the two tracks that you heard today, Sea of Life and Moonlight, then you're going to want to go ahead and pick up that album. So then my next big question is going to be, well, where can Rock Metal Nation pick up the album?
You can pick it up from Cruz del Sur Music, which is my record label, or many different another labels or music stores, probably, can't say for sure. But if you want just to listen it from in the internet, you can go to my Bandcamp page. Easy to find, Google Tyfon's Doom, and so on.
Okay, cool. So you definitely mentioned a Bandcamp page. Is that where you would like Rock Metal Nation to head over to find out more information about you?
There's really not much information in Bandcamp, but if you want to read something, previous interviews or that kind of stuff is a good place to go with or read when you want to know something about the past of this project. But if you want to know the future, then go check the Facebook page.
All right, so Rock Metal Nation, if you dug everything that you got going on here with Tyfon's Doom, you can go to tyfonsdoom.bandcamp.com where you can hear the entire album. If you want to stay in touch, you can go to facebook.com/tyfonsdoom. Or if you're just on any of your social media or Google websites, you can go ahead and type in Tyfon's Doom. Also, you can come to the show notes for today. That's www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. You can go ahead and get the links for everything in today's show notes. Now, Tommy, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing your creativity with Rock Metal Nation.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Tyfon's Doom. And big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.